wieder eine Scheibe unterschreiben lassen und die wird auch wieder an einen von euch gehen. Also viel Glück für später und nochmal Gratulationen.
Einem Spieler, der 2004 in eines der besten WM-Finals in der Geschichte verwickelt war. Damals war es eine knappe 6:7 Niederlage gegen Phil Taylor. Aber das ist eine Partie, an die man sich immer wieder gerne erinnert. 2011 holte er sich den Titel bei den Players Championship Finals. Er ist aktuell die Nummer 43 der Welt. Die Rede ist von The Artist Kevin Painter. Kevin Painter tritt an gegen den Weltranglisten 14., einen der besten Pro-Tour-Spieler auf dem Circuit. Alleine in diesem Jahr hat er schon 3 Pro-Tour-Turniere gewinnen können. Aus Stoke-on-Trent, Ian Diamond White.
Afternoon session here on day 2 of the German Darts Championship in Hildesheim, and it features the number 4 seed Ian White, a man who has won only 2 matches in his 3 most recent European Tour events, although he was gifted that second round win over Devon Peterson in Mulheim after Peterson had checked out on 16, only to be reminded that he actually needed 32, but we won't dwell on that too much more. But he's up against a man who is chasing the very realistic goal, the very realistic dream of making it to the European Championship in Belgium at the end of this month. And it's a fairly simple equation for Kevin Painter. A win here would guarantee him a further £2,000 on the European Tour Order of Merit. And with 6,500 already in the bag, we suspect that would be enough given the countback system that is in place as well. It would be Jamie Caven who would make way. And then I think Painter would be hoping that Michael van Gerwen beats Robbie Green later, which is, without being disrespectful to Robbie Green, a fairly safe assumption for Kevin Painter to make. But he won't be taking anything for granted. And of course, he still has to just deal with the here and now of winning this one. It will all come out in the wash. Ian White against Kevin Painter, last match of the afternoon session. Paul Nicholson, how do you see this one going?
The one thing I like about this game more than anything else, Rob,
Ian to throw first. Game on.
Is the fact that this is going to be a game of pure darts. There's going to be no real big celebrations. This is going to be an old school match. People who have been around a long time respect the game, respect their opponents.
121.
But this isn't a game that you probably would have seen in the late 90s, early noughties.
100.
They've known each other a long time, and they're just going to go up there and have a good, honest battle. But I was impressed with Kevin yesterday. You know, there was a lot of good performances over the course of the Friday. And
140.
Mark Webster played well. Steve West was exceptional. I like Robbie John Rodriguez last night, but there was something about Painter's performance that really stuck out for me.
180.
And that stood out as well. But yeah, I mean, he was playing Jordi Moisa, and I mean, that was a tough-looking assignment by its own right. Moisa has reached the quarterfinals of a European Tour event this year. But yeah, you're right. Painter just ground it out, averaged 95.7. Moisa caused him 1 or 2 problems along the way as well. Painter just having a glance to see where Ian White is.
125. In Uruguay, 122.
So Painter down to 96 on the White throw. Chance for a break early on here. But look at this from Ian White, looking to follow that up. And he has done, leaving the bullseye.
97.
Clipped away up.
In Uruguay, 96.
And that 5 in the last visit for Painter's not the end of the world, because he's still got a 2-darter.
Yeah.
Now, he's looking at double 18. Now he's looking at tops. Ooh,
56.
That looked good.
In Uruguay, 25.
He's having a little word with himself to say, oh, I thought it was in. It wasn't in, Kev, but it was a great effort.
Certainly was. So Ian White will perhaps save himself here. Double 4. Well, that's closer to double 13 in the end, but
Game
that has found the double 4 bed.
Ian White.
And Ian White
Second leg
is
is Kevin
off
to
the
throw
mark.
first. Game on.
There's a little shake of the head from Kev. Not sure why. You've got to be prepared for the number 4 seed
82.
to turn up today. Ian White probably will admit that he hasn't had the best of European escapades over the last 4 or 5 tournaments. And maybe now it's the right time for him to really rubber stamp his European campaign this year with a really good performance.
180.
Well, he's rubber stamped his mark on this second leg with a 180 to kick things off.
39.
Let's just see if Ian White can back this up.
It's a good throw, isn't it? Ian White's throw.
140.
Keeps everything moving. Nothing stops.
Ton 80 backed up by a ton 40.
Yeah, it's very fluid, Ian's throw. Just lots
60.
of slow, metronomic movements. With Kevin, there's a lot of pushing and prodding. It's all about finding something that makes you comfortable when you're throwing for treble 20s. Plenty of them here for White.
138.
He started this match like he wants to get off stage very quickly.
60. In you require 43.
You mentioned Jamie Caven earlier on. He's teetering in the 32nd spot at the moment for the European Championship. He's very good friends with Ian White, and he's very good friends with Kevin Painter.
35.
Yeah, the equation has been simplified for Painter with Steve West, Christo Reyes and Justin Pipe all winning today. They're guaranteed at least another £2,000. So if Painter doesn't win this, he won't be
60.
qualifying for the European Championship.
In
That
you
is
require
absolutely
8.
guaranteed. If he does win this, Jamie Caven will be the man to drop out of the pecking order. Like I say, Robbie Green still in with a shout as
shot,
well.
the
He plays
second
Van
leg,
Gerwen
Ian
later
White.
on tonight. Roby John
Third leg
Rodriguez
is Ian to throw
also
first.
in contention.
Game on.
Still has it all to do. He plays yellow class, and Ian White leads 2-0 here. And Painter needs to come from behind and salvage this, otherwise he will not be involved at the end of the month in Belgium.
I reckon the Roby John Rodriguez Yellow Klassen match has got top billing tonight
140.
for the right reason, because the way RJ Rodriguez played last night, he could potentially trouble Klassen. He really could.
82.
Yeah, European Tour champions are plenty on stage this evening from 7 o'clock. Dave Chisnell is one of them. He kicks things off against Peter Hudson. Michael Smith is another against Mark Webster. Joe Cullen has threatened on occasion
100.
as well, made the semi-finals of one of these events in the past. He plays Robert Allenstein, the sole surviving German player. Mensur Suljovic, you champion in Riesa against
60.
Aaron Johnson. Yeller against Roby John. Peter Wright, another Euro champion, against Eddie Dootson. Michael Van Gerwen, what's he done lately, up against Robbie Green. And Kim Huybrechts looking for a third European Tour crown against the teenager from Warwickshire,
140.
Ted Evans. That's all to come from 7 o'clock. Here and now, Ian White and Kevin Painter. The fly that was bothering the players on stage has now made its way into the commentary booth.
140.
That cheeky
In you
fly
require
hasn't even got an access all
121.
areas pass on.
1-2-1 for White here for a 3-0 lead. Treble 17 would leave the bull. He's not going that way, though, with Painter on 2-1.
97.
What we've got to mention as well, Rob, is the fact that Dave Chisnell is a former champion of this event. So,
And a finalist as well.
yeah,
So he's
81.
got good pedigree
In
here.
you require 24.
hasn't been many winners of the German Darts Championship, but all of them very good players.
Yeah, there's been 4, although the first edition was held in Berlin.
Game shot on the
Ian
third
White
leg.
finds
Ian
number
White.
6.
Fourth leg is Kevin to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, the first edition in Berlin in 2012 was won by Phil Taylor. He beat Chizzy 6-2 in the final. But
100.
Chizzy came here to Hildesheim in 2013 and beat Peter Wright in the final 6-2. Then it was Gary Anderson's turn in 2014. And then last year, Anderson on the receiving end against Van Gerwen, 6-2 in the final.
And before the European Tour started,
43.
we had Phil Taylor winning the German Darts Championship in Halle. And we also had Cor Stompy winning, which is a
60.
big stand-up performance. You statisticians out there and you darts anoraks, check out that performance from Cor. 108 average in the final against Phil Taylor. What a performance. And the size of the average was matched by the size of the trophy that year. It was absolutely monumental.
Like the
size of
Stanley
that
Cup.
135.
Painter's up against it in this match, but he's finding the 60 here. This is what he needs to do now.
140.
He needs to power score his back into this match. But Ian White has been really good so far.
Yeah, let's not forget Kevin Painter is a major champion, given his success at the Players' Championship finals 5 years ago. He was a
139.
semi-finalist in one of these European Tour events a couple of years ago. Lost to Peter Wright in the European Open in Dusseldorf 6-5.
Well, the leg split for Ian White, 15, 13 and 14. That's even 14 dart legs. 42 darts for 3 legs. That's about 35 per dart, maybe just under 36. nearly 108 average. That's really good.
100. Kevin, you require 71.
Treble 13 for Kev. That's 12. So, 19 for tops. And that's all right by him.
51. And you require 84.
Ian White, the mood he's in at the moment, he might well gobble this up and inflict more pain and misery on the artist. 84, double 12 then for White and a 4-0 lead. Good marker.
72.
But he's overcompensated
Kevin, you
there.
require 20.
And Painter with double 10 to get his
Game
first
shot
leg on the
fourth
board.
leg. Kevin Painter. Fifth leg is Ian
Well,
to throw
Thanksgiving
first.
time of year.
Game on.
And Kevin Painter gobbled that one up. And a little bit of a shake of the head as if to say, come on, Kev. We don't want to be 3-1 down. We want to try and get it back to 3-3
121.
and keep going. But Ian White's making it very, very difficult for Kevin because he's going to the board and hitting a lot of trebles.
108.
Painter's hitting a lot of trebles there as well.
He's scrapping for his European Championship life.
Well, prior to, as we've talked about, this very busy September,
140.
Ian White had looked to be in very good form indeed. He claimed his third Pro Tour triumph of the year by winning Players' Championship 13 in Barnsley. He beat Van der Pas in the final early in August. Good run in Barnsley that weekend as well, actually. He lost only 6 legs in making the quarter-finals. Had a tough assignment with Mensur Suljovic, came through that as well. His 2 other victories in Barnsley
100.
included a 6-0 win over Van Gerwen in April in Players' Championship 5. So certainly putting in the nuts and bolts on the
45.
Pro Tour
And you require
in
140.
the Players' Championship Series, but then, as you say, just didn't really deliver in the European Tour events in September.
You've got to feel that Ian White, on form over the last 2 or 3
100.
years, is probably the best player not to have won a European title. I think that with Jelle Klassen, they're probably the 2 that you would earmark as the next step for them
100.
would be one of
And
these.
you require 40.
Yeah, 2 matches he's won in his 3 most recent European Tour events, and as I mentioned, he was gifted that win by Devon Peterson as well. Tops, though, White wants here for 4-1.
No
And he
score.
got closer all the time, but
Kevin,
he
you
didn't
require
quite take
80.
it out, and now Painter has a chance here to break.
This, in the context of this match, is a must. And it's a double 10 that he's already hit when he got his first leg on the board. This has got to go. And it
Game
does.
shot on the 5th leg.
And you know how much it
Kevin
means to
Painter.
Painter.
6th leg is Kevin to throw
Little
first.
fist pump with the left hand.
Game on.
Big deep breath. Composes himself again. And he's doing what he needs to do. He's trying to get back on terms. And if you look at these stats here, 3-2 down, but it's on throw, and Painter's going hell for leather.
180.
Yeah, I think the tide has turned here, there's no doubt about it. Ian White, by the way, number 4 seed, but he was 33-1 in the betting at the start of play today for the title itself. Primarily, I think,
28.
the odds inflated by the fact he's in the same half of the draw as Michael Van Gerwen. He wouldn't be scheduled to meet Van Gerwen until the semi-finals,
100.
should both players get that far. And Kevin Painter might well have something to say about that. The winner of this will face Alan Norris, by the way, after his 6-1 win over Scott Taylor. Norris, one of the seeded players not to
81.
lose today. Gerwin Price, a seeded casualty in the first game against David Pallett. Darrell Gurney came through, no problems against Moulenkamp. Norris likewise against Taylor. But Whitlock exited at the hands of Justin Pipe. Steve West then beat Stephen Bunting.
55.
Terry Jenkins just about got home at the expense of his good friend Andy Smith. But another seeded casualty in our most recent match, Benito van der Pas losing to Cristo Reyes. So it's opening up, but Van Gerwen is lurking.
41.
Yes, we'll see him tonight. A lot of shiny performances from the non-seeds in the afternoon, but those performances just as shiny as Kevin Painter's shoes.
Yeah, it's in there. So 26 remaining.
126.
And that leaves that double 10 once again. Sorry, double 20 once again. Miscalculation there from me, sorry about that.
I'm very impressed with the way Kev's played the last 3 legs. He's had a chance
100.
from Ian White in the last leg,
40.
took that chance, and now he's
Game
back
shot
in the
on
match.
6th leg. Kevin Painter.
Now he can keep attacking
7
Ian
legs,
White's
Ian to
throw,
throw first.
because like you said,
Game
Rob,
on.
the tide has completely turned. There's been a 3-leg spell for Ian, 3-leg spell for Kevin. Now we enter phase 3 of the match.
Yeah, no need for double 10 there for Kevin Painter, taking it out at the first time of asking on double 20 with a 13-dart leg.
100.
So 42 darts for the first 3 legs for Ian. 44 for Kevin is just over 100.
32.
So 45 darts is 100 because that's 15 darts each leg. Take one away, about 102-ish. That's really good.
99.
Well, Painter kicked off this 7th leg with a visit of 32.
With these guys going back many, many a year.
42.
Used to play county darts and playing A-team darts for your county. Kevin used to play for Essex. And Ian played for Staffordshire, if I'm not mistaken.
100.
But it used to be best of 5 legs, and England internationals like Kevin and Alan Warriner,
100.
all those guys would usually steamroll their opponents, winning 3-0 with 32 plus averages. So 3-leg bursts for them is very, very familiar.
And having had that 3-leg burst,
82.
Painter yet to register a score of more than 100 in this leg. 32, 42 and a flat sun. This is more like it.
140.
I think he just
In
needs
your
to take another one of those
120.
big, deep breaths and just keep resetting himself. Make himself feel comfortable, because Ian White looks like he's going to get this leg. He's going to stay there because he wants to guarantee
60.
that 2-darter. If he goes to 16s, he's got 64 if he misses the treble. So that was very wise from Ian White.
35 scored, 152 remaining.
60.
That's good counting.
In your request,
Because
60.
127, you get 2 bites of the cherry for a treble. But Ian White might only need 1 bite of the cherry for tops.
Game shot on the 7th leg.
Well, he
Ian
needed 2
White.
bites of the cherry, but he
8th
got
leg
there
is
in
Kevin
the
to
end.
throw first. Game on.
And Painter was potentially lurking there, waiting in the wings just in case, but he's off to a flyer in this 8th leg.
180.
Just getting out of the block straight away and just throwing down a marker as if to say to Ian White, well, if you want to take this leg, you're going to have to do it the hard way. But Ian White is more than capable of responding in kind here.
They're delivering something that I said they would at the beginning of the match.
140.
Old school battle.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
No big celebrations, just lots and lots of trebles. And lots of respect. Oh,
75.
penny for your thoughts, Kev. That was very unlucky. Can't let that affect you. It's one of those things that happens. And if you look at the score now, Kev, you're still 115 in front, so don't worry. Not anymore. He's now behind. But how much behind?
140.
Ooh,
26.
that could be the game changer. Ian White has effectively stolen the darts in this leg on the Painter throw. And he's hammering home his advantage here. Terrific, terrific darts from Ian White.
Hammered
Huge
home.
pressure.
Eloquently put by Rob Malarkey. Hammered home. Boy, what a way to punish your opponent.
60. In your request,
Brutal.
41.
Absolutely brutal from Ian White and Kevin Painter. It's really knocked the stuffing out of him there. Double 16 then for Ian White for a 5-3 lead,
shot on
and
the
there is
8th leg.
daylight between
Ian
these
White.
two. And Ian White
I'd like Ian to
has
throw
just
first.
found that broke at exactly the right time. And he's now throwing first for the match here in a 6-3
on.
win and a place in the last 16. And that meeting with potentially Alan Norris tomorrow.
Well, he stopped the rot after the 3-leg spell from Painter, and he's done it brilliantly. That was the best leg of the match. And there was no sympathy from Ian White after that bounce out, which
11.
100.
changed everything, really.
Yeah, whether it's an 18-dart leg or an 11-dart leg, Ian White won't care about that one jot. That's just the one blemish on that
100.
particular set of stats there, the 7th leg for Ian White, but the all-important stat is on the other side of the screen. 5-3 he leads. Trading tons in this 9th leg.
Well, when you throw, when you've got the throw,
60.
if your opponent doesn't go out in 15 darts, 18 darts is still very good. You're forcing your opponent to get out in 5 visits.
140.
I think we preoccupy ourselves with always having sub-15s, but sometimes you have a good 18 darter, and that was a very good 18 darter in the leg previous to the last one.
60.
We know where Kevin stands. Got to win them all.
85.
Otherwise, you're not playing tomorrow. And unfortunately, you will not be in Hasselt either. But another 3-leg spell like he did earlier on in the match will be good enough, I think.
Tall order, though, for him.
60.
Well, he's got 6 darts from 176, so that's meat and potatoes for Kevin. Another one of those another 60 here will be handy.
90.
That's all right. That's all right.
Well, he didn't like it, but as you say, it's okay. He's down to 86 on the white throw, on a finish first. Could have been better, obviously, but you know, potentially he's 2 darts away.
60.
I think he's got to go for the ball, really,
86.
if he misses the treble. Well, he's got the treble, so double 16. Double 8 now to go back to 5-4.
70.
Now he's got to pray that Ian White doesn't finish this match with a bit of magic.
61.
Well, there's only one way Ian White can do this. But it ain't going to happen on this particular visit.
Well, first and
65.
foremost, Kevin Painter cannot
Kevin
give
Uruguay,
Ian
16.
White another chance to finish this leg off and the match. That's all right. Come on, Kevin, you can hit it. And he doesn't.
No score.
He can
Ian
feel the
Uruguay,
pain
96.
in his eyes.
Penny for your thoughts, Ian White and Kevin Painter, after that particular visit. 96 away, well, 93 away now. But he's recovered really well, and he's looking at double 18.
78.
Well, there was a little adjustment
Kevin
there, as if
Uruguay,
to say he wasn't
16.
sure it was in at first. Then he didn't stop and compose himself. He went straight for it. Painter's
How
going
many?
straight for double 8.
How many more attempts does he want at double 8 here? Kevin
Getting shot
Painter,
on the
there's your
ninth
answer.
leg. Kevin Painter.
A 21 dart leg, but he will
Seven
care
legs,
not
Kevin
one
to throw
jot about
first.
that. He finds double 8
Game on.
eventually. And we're effectively back on throw now once again, but Painter still has it all to do here. He needs to win the next 2 legs. He needs to hold his throw and then find a break in the decider should it go that far.
I could feel what Kevin was saying to himself, as if to say, yeah, in your own time,
95.
Kev. It's just exhausted every opportunity until he had to hit that double 8. Otherwise, it was curtains.
$100.
Game ain't over yet, though. A few more of those, and we could be going to sudden death
100.
in the final game of the afternoon.
Yeah, nice way to wrap things up, really.
Well, Ian White is throwing against the darts here, so
140.
you would think it should go to a final leg decider. But there have been missed darts in this match at doubles. And sometimes you don't need 100 averages for tension. I can feel the tension
137.
here in the commentary box. We're not that far from the stage. Kevin has left himself on a bogey number, but how much pressure is that number going to be under? Ian White should be leaving a finish now, and leaves a great one.
140.
It's a very manageable finish as well. Painter just simply has to score big here, and he's going the right way about it. He'll switch here.
135. In Uruguay, 121.
What's he done? He's left double 17. He's tapping his head. He's miscounted. But first and foremost, he's got to make sure that Ian White doesn't hit it, and he won't. Now he's left double 7. He's got a conundrum. Will he go straight for it,
67.
or will he go for 2
Kevin
double
Uruguay,
16?
34.
Don't shake your head. Have a plan. Go for it. Now it's going to be 1 for double 8.
And he had so many problems with double 8 in the last leg.
18.
And he's had problems once again here, and he's
In Uruguay,
absolutely kicking
54.
himself. He was on 169.
Well, he's going for the exhibition shot. Double 14, double 13. If he hits this, there will be a shake of the head from the artist. I guarantee you that. Double 13 to knock out Kevin Painter. And it's not going to be. Kevin's coming back to the board.
No score.
Split it as well, and he's
Kevin
busted.
requires 16.
Painter. And this issue with double eights might well surface again. Ian White might get another opportunity here. But
Game
it's
shot on the
just
10th leg.
inside the
Kevin
wire.
Painter.
And Kevin Painter sets up
11th and final leg is Ian
an
to throw
11th and
first.
final leg in this encounter.
Game on.
And we do have the finale, perhaps we were all hoping for, but Kevin Painter gets away with that one there. He was on 169, he took out 2 treble 20s, and then he was looking to set up the double 16, but he miscalculated.
140.
I looked at his eyes when he hit the 260s and I thought, where are you going? I just didn't know what he was doing. But there's one thing you can't argue.
66.
Kevin Painter is box office. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He leaves nothing behind. I tell you what, he needs 60s in this leg.
78.
Oh, what a big 57 from Ian White.
That was absolutely vital for Ian White because Kevin Painter might well have seized on that. There's a little bit of a cushion here, but Painter can just hang on to the
100.
coattails of his opponent here.
Well, Kevin's just got to hang on and hang on and hang on and keep fighting. Got to pray that Ian White doesn't go mad on this treble 20.
Well, he's got one. And he's got 2.
135.
And he's down to a finish of 148. And Painter has a lot of ground to make up here.
Needs another one. Gets another one.
140. Ian, you require 148.
6 starts from 148 though.
Not down to a finish. Painter and Ian White, well, he wouldn't put it past him. Well, he won't do it now. 124 remaining.
44.
Tiny bit of a sniff, Rob. Tiny
Just
bit of a sniff.
An opening here for Kevin
A
Painter.
171 would be brutal here. Square it up where you need it. That's good.
105.
That's good.
Ian, you require 104.
Because he can now go for 2 singles and bull if and only if Ian White doesn't take the rest of this out, which is 100 left.
And he won't.
Painter's alive and kicking.
28.
Should get 1 dart at the bull
Kevin, you require 90.
or 2 at double 15. He's the kind of player that doesn't go bull first. It will be 20s.
Kevin Painter for a place in the last 16 and a chance to keep his dream alive. He wants the bullseye. He's got 1 dart in his hand and he's
65. Ian, you require 76.
Well, I'm breathless here in the commentary box. What a game this has been.
The tension is absolutely tangible here in Hildesheim. Ian White 76 points away from his place in the last 16. Make that 56. There's the fat 16. Tops he wants.
36.
And he has missed as well. The drama
Kevin, you
goes on
require
here.
25.
And Kevin Painter, well, will it be 9 double eights? It would be ironic if he went for double eights again. He had so many problems with it in this match.
Get your paintbrush out, Kev. Paint the picture. It's going to be
He's
double
going
12.
the other way. He's going 1 double 12, which is, bearing in mind what's happened already today, we were sort of half expecting him to do that instead. Well, that's a long way wide. 1 more dart.
1 score.
Not enough.
Ian, you require 40.
Maybe it's not meant to be. My heart is thumping here just watching this final leg of the afternoon and this match. It's tops for Diamond White to break the Painter heart.
Game
and he
shot.
does.
And the
It's
match
all over. What a
is won.
thrilling contest, Rob Malarkey. Wow.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant drama to round things off in the afternoon session here in Hildesheim. Kevin Painter's aspirations for taking part in the European Championship in Hasselt at the end of October have come to nothing here. He was playing for a place in the 3rd round. He was looking for the $2,000 he needed to keep his dream alive, and that in turn would have guaranteed another $5,000 in Hasselt as well. But it's not to be for the artist. And Ian White, little wonder he's bent double at the table there. He is breathing a massive sigh of relief. Painter had his opportunities, but it was not to be. Let's hear from White now. A reminder, the action continues at 7 o'clock here tonight. Dave Chisnell against Peter Hudson in the first match of the evening session.
Left and double 14.
You know, it's just nerves, you know, kicking in. But, you know, it's my first game, so Kev's been up here, so it's very hard for your first one.
So you are through. See you tomorrow again. Ian, thank you very much. Ian Diamond White. Er sagt, es ist eine Sache von Nerven, sein erster...